Okay, okay. So if you're watching this video, this is Talk Time with Dr. Donny. And this is my first time moving it to this new time slot of Thursday from 4 to 6 because, this class is normally on the weekends. But, I kind of need my weekends to get my own life together. I got social stuff I got to make happen in the real world. So I like to get to a place where I can walk around and be in public and feel comfortable again. That's something I struggle with. Something I've struggled with for a long time, and I'm still working on that. So anyway, the weekends are a good time to get in touch with that. So anyway, I'm here on Thursdays, and my name's Dr. Donny, and I teach social emotional learning. Dr. Donny is a sociology professor at CSU East Bay in Hayward, California. And I teach a variety of things around childhood socialization, also this concept called adultism, how we disrespect young people. I'm working on a paper about that right now. Adultism and shame, how we all as students, we learn shame in the process of schooling, and how that process of shame is connected specifically to the hierarchy, age hierarchy. Anyway, doing a whole paper on that right now. And I also do social emotional learning. And I teach these classes called Emotions for Dummies. So there's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced Emotions for Dummies. And yeah, if you're interested, sign up for those, and we go through exercises and learn about how to connect to our thoughts and feelings. Okay, so this month's classes are Talk Time with Dr. Donny, which is about just making space to talk about feelings. That's what this time is about, just making space to talk about feelings. I can do all sorts of things. I can listen, I can validate, I can question, I can point, I can give out psycho-social and psycho-educational information. I'm good at that, giving out information. Make space. I can just make space to feel. I can just be silent. Yeah. I can talk about me. I can also talk about me. So that's what this space is for. Just an open space, a free, therapeutic, counseling open space. Yeah. For me too. It's that space for me as well. I am a, I guess you'd say, student. What do you call it when you sign up for this? A participant? I guess that's the word I'll use. I'm a participant in this space just as much as anyone else is. I'm not just a teacher. The teacher is the student. The teacher is the student. When it's about feelings, feelings are hard. Feelings are really hard. The teacher is the student always. Okay, so since no one is here, since no one has shown up yet, I'm going to use this time to, one more thing. Anybody watching this? These all my classes are recorded and put up on my YouTube channel. And so that way I can share them with anybody who wants to see them and get more people to come to the class. If that bugs you in any way, please take care to do what you feel is right for you. So, that might mean turning off your camera or being careful about the words you use. Or you're more than welcome at any time to ask me to turn off the recording. And I'm okay with that too. Okay. I mean, I want the recordings, so I'm making that clear. But, at any time, you're more than welcome to ask me to turn off the recording or to pause it or anything like that. Okay. We can always talk about those things. But this is really a space to be present for whoever shows up and their feelings. Okay. And obviously, feelings are sensitive, and there may be things you may not want up on YouTube, and that's totally understandable. Although I find most people who come, even though it's sensitive, it's vulnerable, nobody ever really says anything that's going to get them in trouble. If anything, I've said things that would probably be more troublemaking, and nothing's really happened. So I'm not really, I really just encourage you to come and bring your feelings and be okay with being vulnerable. But anyway, do what you feel is right for you in terms of the recordings and all. Lovely people who watch this video. Okay, so I always like to start class by asking, how's everybody feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? And so since no one is here, I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling. People listening to this, I got romance scammed over January to March. And as a result of that, I've had to file for bankruptcy. I was encouraged. I mean, I can say this now, but I was devastated, of course, when this all was happening to me. I was encouraged to take out several loans by a person who I was dating and told me they were a financial investor person and knew what they were doing. And that person took my trust and used it to screw me over. And as a result, I've had to, and then disappeared. And so this was absolutely devastating. Okay. So I had to file for bankruptcy a month ago, and my meeting with the bankruptcy trustee the meeting for the bankruptcy is tomorrow morning. So unfortunately there was a mistyping of the zip code on my form because I had to move and all sorts of stuff were happening while this was going on, and so I didn't get the mail. I didn't get any mail telling me this information. I happened to call I was smart enough to save enough money to get an attorney. I'm very thankful that I did that. I'm very, very thankful that I did that. For 1 second, people. You know, another thing is, I'm not big on, he says he called me also, but I'm not big on phone conversations. I do text messages a lot better than I do phone conversations, but I have no record that he called me either, so I don't know. Anyway, I was smart enough to save up enough money to get an attorney. And I would have to say he seems like so far he's been a pretty good guy. A good human being, which has been interesting because this entire experience from meeting this person who scammed me, I could go into the details of who he was, but it's not really important. But meeting this person, how this all went down, the fallout from it, how my friends have come out of the woodworks to help me, the particular fears and wounds and traumas that came up to the surface, about all this that I've had to confront. You think this is crazy? I think it's crazy as hell, but I almost feel like this is all happening by a larger design. This is God's plan here for this to happen. And it feels crazy to say that about this, because if you knew me at all, well, on a financial level, I tend to live a pretty simple life. I mean, I did have some plans. I wanted a family. I wanted to make enough money to have a family. You know, at least one kid. I didn't want to be maybe a single parent and a kid. I wanted a husband too, but you know, at least a kid and a home. That was the plan. Become a college professor, get kid at home. And now I live in the Bay Area where that's just not even a reality. And then I owe student loans at the wazoo, so that's also why it's not a reality. So anyway, I said all that to say it's been crazy how all this has been lining up and what it's taught me how to let go. And this is completely blown up my desire to have a family. I don't know how to explain this, but getting scammed like this, my heart getting broken, just killed the dream. Killed the dream. I'm kind of thankful it killed the dream. I didn't think I'd be thankful, but I've come to see that holding on to these dreams was really burdensome. These fantasies of what I wanted, you know, these fantasies of what I wanted. Because it really never ends. It would be the house, then the kids. Then I still wouldn't be fulfilled. So then I would have to be like, the kids have to be at a good school. And maybe I still wouldn't be fulfilled. If the kids, me and the kids have to, they have to have the best clothes, or they have to have the best this, or the best of that, or I got to get them ready for college. I really would have pressured my kids to go to college, of course. Actually, maybe not, because I put myself through so much pressure to get my education. So I don't know how I feel about pressuring my children on that level. But, and because of the research I do also on youth inequality. But so all these fantasies have been shot to pieces because this happened to me. And I'm kind of like living through the devastation of that still. And it's not sad. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the future? At least now at this point, I'm not holding on to like constantly comparing my life to what I really kind of thought I should have at this moment. And it's really funny because I'm a college professor and I'm a Black man, okay, which I think is a huge achievement right there. And I'm a college professor. I have a PhD and 3 master's degrees. So I mean, I'm by most people's standards, I'm considered Black excellence. Okay. And that being said, they were up to my ego, my standards of things. I'd probably have 2 PhDs by now. I almost had enough at this point to certainly earn 4 master's degrees instead of 3. And what's the standards. And okay, so that's what's coming up for me. Oh, talking this out is really helping me. Talking this out is really helping me. Standards. I've really been coming to see recently how being a person with super high standards lends itself on an emotional level to being somebody who always is on edge, judgmental, on edge, nervous. You're always kind of nervous. You have high standards. You always live with a lot of anxiety. I've spent so much time since getting out of grad school. It's been almost a decade trying to fix my credit, get my credit report, my credit score number to go up. So that would give me access to more things. 10 years of building all that credit. All it got me access to was about $50,000. That's something I really have to sit with too. It's all it got me access to. That's what being middle class. That's the most I could. All this, and that's what I can get. That's what middle class is for me at this point. That's also something I gotta sit with. That's a dream killer right there too. So how am I feeling today? I feel like my dreams got killed. That's what I feel like. And that's a phrase I've never actually said when someone asks me, how do you feel today? That's a good one. I feel like my dreams got killed today. So I woke up this morning or last night and suddenly realized I needed to email my attorney and see what's going on, and then found out this morning it was today. And then my only plan today actually was to take it pretty easy. I went swimming yesterday and I was really tired. So today I was going to just mop the floor of my apartment because it was getting kind of dirty. I did that, and then I kind of breathed in so much Pine Sol. I came here and was really upset. But I didn't say those words out loud, but I was. And I took a 3-hour nap, a 3-hour crying nap, a 3-hour on and off crying nap. Released a lot of pain, though. So, But you know what I'm realizing? My credit report is not who I am in any way, shape, or form. And there may be some issues around. Well, in terms of credit, I mean, if I give up the house, wanting the house and the family, if I can give all that up, then I mean, the only thing I need credit for really was maybe an apartment and a car, and I just got a car. So you know, and you know, I don't care about fancy cars. So I mean, as long as I have about 15,000 saved up, I can probably just buy a used car in cash. So I mean, like, do I need credit? No, no, no. Is this what I thought I'd be doing right now? Hell no. Is this where I thought I'd be right now at 39 and a half? Hell no. To be this human being who got tenure in June, I got tenure in June, and now I'm filing for bankruptcy. I filed for bankruptcy and got tenure really in the same month. For me to say that there must be a higher purpose to that. Like, it's so serendipitous, the highs and the lows of that. It's so serendipitous, the highs and the lows of that I can't help but feel like that's God calling. It's all God calling. So honestly, while I don't feel good about it, I don't. These feelings feel like, on one hand, I am letting go. On one hand, it feels like I am falling off a mountain. Like, boom, 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 boom. Letting go. Letting go is hard. Letting go is hard. I have met several people, though, who have told me they filed for bankruptcy, and it didn't seem like it was that big a deal for them. I don't know. This is a big deal for me. Also, as an African-American person, I have to tell all of you, like, all of this is a big deal for me, because you never know at any moment what you're going to deal with as an African-American person. I do my best to live on the straight and narrow and be a good human being. I do lots of good things in the world for a reason. Because for a reason. Well, for one psychological reason, an emotions reason. Because I know I care about safety. I care about living in safety. So I know having that sort of identity and persona allows me to stay safe. Stay safe. I'm not a scammer. I'm very much the anti-scammer. Okay? And that's the whole thing. I know I got scammed because this man was looking to prey on somebody and clearly read my nature. And I just didn't see it coming. I just didn't see it coming. There was so many, he put so much work into it. Me and this person talked online every single day. My best friend told me he knows someone who this person put in like 4 years of constantly dating someone before they scammed them and then disappeared. I just can't even fathom that. Yes, I can. I can fathom it right now. The one thing I have is imagination. And when I say I can't fathom it, that's really my way of saying it hurts. The amount of pain there. The amount of pain there is so strong that I'd rather not imagine. It's just very, very painful. I think about, now that we're talking about the pain, I'm sinking into it here, the other bitter things of life. That's really what I've been feeling. Bitter. That's another word for it. Bitter. I've been working through that. I had a student come in he started talking to me about his family plans and his house plans and things like that. And, I wanted to support him and tell him he can do it. Say that those are good plans. I think I did say those are good plans, but then right after that I said, and literally one thing could happen and they all get blown to pieces. They all get blown to shit. So, but I realized though, in telling him that, and he wasn't a student, he was a staff member, just a very young person. Well, he wasn't that young, he's 30, but I realized I was bitter. That's the point. I realized I was bitter, just a bit like this, but on the inside, not the outside. Yeah. So I've been really sitting with that too. Every single time I get one of these feelings, bitter, or I just start to feel kind of run down, it's because all the things I had planned, all the expectations I had for myself at this point, don't line up with the reality of where I'm at. Or I got what I wanted, but what I thought it would mean doesn't mean what I thought it would mean. Or I got what I wanted, but it didn't happen the way I thought it would happen. And because it didn't happen the way I thought it would happen, I took on all sorts of extra stress. And because of that extra stress, I'm still grumbly. I'm grumbling. I'm still grumbling. I'm grumbling. Grumbles. Bitter. But I guess if I'm getting really honest, if I have to get really honest, I mean, my expectations are what's making me bitter, not life. There's somebody else out there. Hey, maybe there's some condition under which maybe it would have been a gift. Well, it's still a gift to file for bankruptcy, but there must be some condition I can make up where I'd be happy to be in this place. Like if I had wanted to ruin my credit. Okay, let's see. That might be a fun exercise for shaking this up. What would be a condition under which I would have wanted to ruin my credit? This is actually part of a worksheet. So I won't pull up the worksheet, but I'll just explain it right now. There's a worksheet called How to Let Go that I have. And it's about finding finding 3 reasons why you're better off not getting what you wanted. Not getting what you wanted. It's just a total blow your ego up kind of. That worksheet is very much a blow your ego up worksheet. Okay, so 3 reasons why you are better off not getting what you wanted. 3 reasons why. So 3 reasons why I am better off. I'm gonna cry. I can feel it. 3 reasons why I'm better off ruining my credit. Oh, 3 reasons why I'm better off ruining my credit. Well, 3 reasons why I don't know. 3 reasons why I'm better off ruining my credit. Well, you know what? I worried a lot. About building my credit. I wanted to be someone who could, I guess, have that house and be able to get a loan and have a good credit score to get a low interest loan and overcome the odds that might be against me as a Black person. Thought having a good credit score would help me overcome the odds. So I really put a lot of work into that. So you know what? Now I don't have to worry about it. I won't beat the odds. No, I won't beat the odds. There won't be a house. There just probably won't. Maybe there just won't be a house. Well, I'm going to operate on there's no house. I mean, there's no house right now. I didn't see one coming in the Bay Area anyway. So I'm and who knows? I mean, who knows? I could enter a raffle and win a house for all I know. And who knows? And I don't have to worry about it. One reason why I'm better off, my credit score is tanked, is I don't have to worry about improving it. I'm just gonna focus on living simply. I'm not worried about improving I just gotta live within my means. That's all I have to do. Another reason I'm better off. Another reason why I'm better off my credit score tanks. Better off. Boy, this is not easy. Well, I mean, what comes up for me is, if I can't get a swanky apartment, then I'll just have to live with working class people. Working class people are fine with me. I don't have to live. I've gone to Ivy League schools, and I teach at a working class institution, and I prefer the working class situations a lot better. Much less pretense, less nicer stuff, but much less pretense. Much less pretense. BS. Much less BS. And much more deeper conversation, richer conversation also. A conversation about privileges. We are very poor people are very aware of the lack of privileges they have, whereas rich people are not. I like I said, I went to undergrad at a private school, and I promised myself after that I would not be in another place like that ever again. But then grad school happened, and I wanted to get out of the United States, so I went to school in Canada. So I applied to the University of Toronto, which is a public school, but technically a private school, but technically a public school. Private school in name, but public school in name, but private school in form and function. Okay, so kind of like a UC Berkeley, more or less. UC Berkeley is the same sort of thing, really. So, but you know what? I'll get to spend my time with the working class. I'll be my understanding of the world will always be informed by working class reality. I think that's a good thing. No bullshit. Less bullshit. That's what I said, right? Less bullshit. Okay, another reason I'm better off if my credit score tanks. You know what? Here's another one. When I said this in the beginning, I heard my heart drop. My voice got real silent. Like I went to this special place where I feel really sensitive and hurt. Yeah. So another reason is if it drops, I'll get to revisit that place. That place may not be, if I continue listening to that space, being sensitive, understanding, compassionate, giving compassion to that space, maybe that space won't be so small and so attached and so hurt, so attached to this credit report and so hurt. Maybe that space won't be so hurt. I'll learn to give myself healing, care. I'll learn how to engage in better self-care. I'll take care of myself better if this happens. That's how we learn how to get through, how to take better care of ourselves in life. Because the crap happens. If it was all just fun and good times, you'd probably just drink yourself to death, But because the crap happened, suddenly you didn't have enough money for the alcohol, or you had an expense, the car had to get fixed, it made you reevaluate your expenses, or how much you were spending going out, or stuff like that. Because the crap of life happens, we learn how to take better care of ourselves. Because the crap happens. And the crap that happens in life is rarely ever the stuff you selectively chose to bring on. The car breaks down when you maybe really didn't expect it, or at least expected it, or at least wanted it to happen. You get the news that you've got the cancer, and at the time when you least thought it would happen. That's how life works. It's not me running the show. There's something much larger than me running the show. I will say this. Here's another good reason why it's good. because it'll be a great thing to read on my Wikipedia page when I die. When somebody writes a Wikipedia page about me and all my work, it'll be a great line to read on my Wikipedia page. If you ever go read people's Wikipedia pages, I mean, it's rarely ever just, born, good thing happened, good thing happened, good thing happened, happy time, happy time, happy time, good thing happened, died. It's just rarely, very rarely. And if anybody's Wikipedia page did look that way, I would largely assume they left out a huge chunk of the story, right? So, the realness of life is all these things, right? For someone else, it's, someone else out there got the family, got the job that allowed them. Maybe they went corporate, got the nice paycheck and the nice house and the nice job. I'm sorry, the nice house and the nice family. Maybe they got the wife and the kids, or the husband and the kids, and maybe they got all that. And still, that day still comes when the cancer shows up, or when the miscarriage happens, or the miscarriage happens, your kid drowns. You have a great pool. One day your kid's playing around and you're not really watching them, and your kid drowns in the pool. Or your kid goes to a friend's house. They go to a friend's house all the time. They've been going to this friend's house for 2, 3, 4 years now. You trust these people. You know them. They're good people. And then that day happens when they go and they're swimming and no one's really paying attention, and something goes wrong and their kid drowns in the pool. Kids, that happens. People drown, Or you go to the beach. Here in the Bay Area, people go out to Ocean Beach to go surfing, or people go surfing along the coastline. And, if it's a particularly strong wave, a particularly violent day at the beach, the waves can totally pull you right in. So there are regularly, certainly at once a year, if not more, there are people who go out surfing to Ocean Beach and do not come back. Do not come back. And so what's that like? When you're a surfer, you go surfing all the time. You've been surfing for a decade. You go out there, have a great time, get those waves. You're nice and ripped because you're one of those surfer people, right? And you're out there having, you're just, it's your thing, so you just look great, right? You just love doing it. And then that one time, 10 years into it, you go out and then suddenly the rip current happens. You didn't see it, and you get pulled in and you can't get back. And, you're trying to do everything you can, but you can't. And then maybe you finally, you stop trying to fight it, but, it's just not happening. And then all of a sudden, something happens, big wave, it overthrows you. You can't get back on the board as quickly, bad waves, things happen. The water's freezing. Once you're in that water for about, for a while there, you'll freeze up pretty fast. So, and then that's the end of you. So, and that's somebody's story. That's somebody's parent or child, or So one reason why I'm better off with this credit report, that my credit report tanked, I lost. All right, it's dealing with the losses of life. Dealing with the losses of life is how we learn to grow past our ego. We learn to embrace a deeper understanding of what life is. And you know what? Maybe, thank God, it's just a bankruptcy. It could have been me on that surfboard. I've had 1 or 2 times when the rip current pulled me in. Yeah, yeah. I know how scary that is. So, my baggage is just going to have to be a bankruptcy and this romance scam. I used to watch the Dr. Phil show all the time. I know some people got issues with him, but I have to tell you, it's a show dedicated to psychological help and healing and advice. So, I mean, you know, if you're going to take issues with somebody, is Dr. Phil really the one to take issues with? I don't know. You know, Dr. Oz, people say, is a total medical quack, you know, but Dr. Phil is an actual therapist, you know, a practicing therapist for a very long time. So that show is full of great information, you know. So, I mean, but anyway, I watched the Dr. Phil show. And there are several episodes of that show that's about romance scams. People who sent out all their money to some Nigerian person and lost hundreds of thousands, $1 million. And now they're on the verge of bankruptcy and losing their home. And they still don't believe that the person is they still don't believe that the person is they still think the person's real, you know. Not until they're on the Dr. Phil show and they find the phone number of the person and they try to look them up and they go to Nigeria to look up the address and prove that that address isn't real, and then try to call the person and hear them on the phone, and that's the final moment they realize it's not real. After they've given away $1 million. $1 million. So, you know, that could have been me. I mean, actually, it couldn't have been me because I could not take out that much money in loans. That's another gift. That's another gift. Because if it was $1 million and I filed for bankruptcy, I guess, you know, at that point, there'd be no chance of me. I mean, I don't know what the penalties are for any of this stuff. I'm learning as I go, but I imagine the penalties would be much, much worse. Much, much worse. Yeah. This is really helping me a lot. I really appreciate this. Oh. Another reason why I should be glad. Another reason why I should be glad. How else am I going to die in the gutter on time? How else am I going to die in the gutter? That's what the real fear is here, right? That I'm going to lose all my money and I'll be homeless and I'll just be a dirty homeless person living in a tent, die in the gutter. That's what this real fear is. So how else am I going to die in the gutter if I don't lower my credit score? I mean, I suppose I'm making an assumption here about homelessness and credit scores, but I'm assuming people who are homeless have low credit scores. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I'm ignorant. So maybe this is teaching me to confront my ignorance also. Hey, on a side note, a student made me this cup. He had a ceramics class. He was from Oaxaca. He made me this cup. All the cups I have in here are because he was kind enough to make me a cup. I thought it was the sweetest thing on planet Earth. So now when I drink out of this cup, I get to drink out of the awesomeness of the teacher-student connection. Yeah. Another good reason why my score should tank. You know, what motivates me in life has never been money. If it had been money, I would have gone into corporate law, or I would have become a doctor, a medical doctor. I would have become a medical doctor. And that just never motivated me. Not ever in my life. The arts, music, like analyzing, science, always really motivated me. Analyzing, like the combination of creativity and analyzing. Those two things have always been the things that have really, really motivated me throughout my life. Not money. not the making of the money. My brother was all into the making of the money. His whole goal in life was to make $1 million before he turned 21, and that did not happen. But he did start several businesses. I've never started a business. I always thought that was kind of an amazing thing about him. You know, maybe one good thing about this, it'll teach me to challenge these fears. You know, if I had one thing I did want to do is I want to start my own nonprofit. And I mean, instead of thinking about what can I do to get my financial situation back together as fast as possible and pay off whatever other debts I owe so I don't owe anybody anything anymore, which is kind of where I'm thinking. It's kind of where I'm at right now. Maybe instead of that, another way to think about this is let's continue with that natural me, that person who science and analyzation and creativity. That's really me, right? So the one thing I really want to do is I kind of want to start my own nonprofit. I want to get my own social emotional nonprofit together and do this social emotional work with more and more people. I mean, I really consider this to be like my life's calling. So that's the case. If that's the case, this bankruptcy thing will go wherever the hell it goes, and then I can still focus on making that a reality for me. I can still totally focus on making that a reality. Yeah, but this is what I was thinking about before all this stuff happened. So the romance scam business happened. And the whole idea was I'd get some money together and I could just make it happen. So let's still make it happen. Those student loans don't all have to get paid off. I don't have to. I can make enough money and get it together that I can start this nonprofit. I can do that. That's what I really want to do. I want to be a leader in the field of social emotional learning. So that way I can, and yes, yeah. That's what I want to do. Write some books, really do my part to get people to really be a better educator, be better educators in the 21st century, however much time there is left before the planet Earth burns up. But I can probably get at least a couple of books out by then. So there you go. They'll all burn up. But if I do this social emotional work, we'll at least process our trauma a little bit before it all burns up. So. I'm cracking some of these jokes here, but I should tell you all, right before class started, I had to send off like the final bits of information for this meeting tomorrow. And when I sent it off and signed the final form, this feeling inside me was like just losing it. I was like shaking and everything. So I went and found a pillow. And I screamed and screamed and screamed into this pillow, just screamed at God. Just scream at God. God, why? Oh my God, it felt so good. It felt so good. I cried. It really helped me to feel a whole lot better. Yeah. My throat's a little sore. That's a good thing too. I'm okay with that. I'm not holding it in. I'm okay with that. And I don't totally understand why. And it's not for me to understand why. I thought it was my life. It's not my life. It's God's life. We are all just part of a bigger plan. I'm doing the best I can to navigate my life. Boy, when I say I'm doing the best I can, oh my gosh, I'm doing the best I can. So this is leading me into all these new spaces I probably would never ever go to. If I didn't have to. So that's God. That's God right there. It was amazing to see how many of my friends care and reach out and helped me through this difficult time. It's very beautiful to see that. It really taught me I have a family. I have an adult family. I may not make children of my own, but I have a family. Yeah. My biological family is no longer in my life for the past 3 years or so now. I still have a biological. Well, I have a logical family. Anyway, let's go with that. Okay. I have a logical family full of all kinds of wonderful people I chose to be in my life. That sounds good. I like that. My logical family. That means a lot more to me than my credit score, knowing that so many people support me, cared about me, appreciate me. That feels hella good, I tell you that. That yelling at God thing is really nice. Someone taught me that last week. That yelling at God thing is really nice because God can take it. Often we have a hard time letting ourselves get angry. And I've had a hard time getting angry at this whole situation because, well, I mean, I got my heart broken. This man called me on my birthday to say he loved me. This man, was inviting me to move in with him and his mother. I mean, I really thought this man was going to be maybe like the one here. We were moving in that direction, moving in together. So I'm devastated. And so because I'm devastated, I can't put my energy into being angry. I'm just mad at myself. And it's hard to just really get mad at myself. So getting mad at God for doing all this really has allowed me to get it out. It has allowed me to get it out. Yeah. So there you go. Hey, on a related, I wanted to say die in the gutter. Oh, how else am I supposed to die in the gutter on time? Mozart, more or less died in the gutter. The Mozart we all love, of the music he made, the nice pretty classical music he made, child prodigy and all. But as he got older, and by older I mean 30s, he had a lot of kids, and his musical ventures didn't make him a lot of money. And when they didn't make him a lot of money, he, was poor. I think he played the piano in a house that had no heating, and he got sick, and he died. I think he died at like 35. That's Mozart. So, would you want to be Mozart? You know what I'm saying? Would you want that to be your story? Actually, and there's several artists who have rough stories about their lives. They made amazing contributions to humanity, but very rough lives. Very rough lives. Some things happen. So whatever the larger purpose is, I just think it's so important. Whatever the larger purpose is, let's see if we can just open up to it. Just open up to it. Just be present. The larger purpose would have to be being this here now, right? Whatever you're building towards in the future would still mean having to be this here now. If it's God's larger purpose, well, boom, you're right here, right now, ain't you? So there you go. Whatever that larger purpose is, whether it's, dying in the gutter or walking the Grammys or getting a Grammy and then dying in the gutter, whatever it is, it can only still be this here now. It's July 15, 2021. Well, okay, so 2030 might be 2025 is the Grammys, and 2030 is I die in the gutter. Okay, but July 15th, 2021 is still going to be this here now on this recording in my office, talking to myself, being with my feelings. Those feelings, just sitting with your feelings is hard. You can always tap your body, move the energy around, move your eyes from side to side, stretch. Mm. Mm. Ooh. Mm. I almost feel like God's telling me, now look, you did your part in this one way, okay? You got this element of life down pat here, okay? You got a PhD and did well at school. You know, you're a good human being. You know, you got this going. But there's these other things here that make a whole life. And so now you need to learn how to do these other things. Like paying your bills, that's one thing you need to know how to do. Now, I guess there's also compassion. There's compassion for when you fail. You know, okay, failure. Well, you know what? Honestly, there are very few things I've let myself fail in my life. I pretty much do most of what I do because I thought I'd be successful at it. I did it, I liked it, and then I pretty much thought if I put a little bit of more work into it, I'd be really good at it. And those are all the things I've chosen to do in my life. It's why I'm a sociologist. It's why I'm a musician. It's why I ended up moving from music into the social sciences. Um, I learned several languages at one point in my life. Yeah, a lot of things I've done because I knew I'd be good at it. If I did it and I wasn't good at it, then I had to quickly make a decision about whether I cared about that or not. And generally, if I cared even just a little bit, I just stopped. I just didn't do it. I just didn't even bother. Because it would bring up so many feelings of inadequacy, irritation. I'm a loser. I'll never forget when I started college. You know, people would invite me just to go play pool. You know, we'd be at a bar and want to play a game of pool, and often we could play one game, and I pretty much would play the game thinking I'm going to win, even though I didn't really know how to play pool. And when I lost, I would have this feeling of just like, well, 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 I mean, I can play the piano. Anyway, I'm important some other way. I did that all the time. And then I always remember feeling like, well, this is kind of silly that I have to think and act like that around a game of pool. The game of pool doesn't really, no one cares about a game of pool. I always thought it was really odd I would have that reaction, but that's why. That part of me is so sensitive. I hid that part of me behind the part of me that's really successful. There's all these other parts of me that are not so successful, and I hide them. You know, I project my college professor successful self, but the part of me that can't manage money well, or can't manage a financial portfolio or retirement. Or, I can manage a monthly in a monthly kind of way, but I can't manage in a long-term kind of way. Okay, or investing. I'm horrible at it. So far, I've been horrible at it. I don't project that part of me. I hide that part. The part of me that oh, this is good. The part of me that would do something and be really horrible at it. The part of me that could just play the game of pool and just laugh it off. That's hard. It's hard for me to just laugh it off. I would have to totally just not care whatsoever. And then I can laugh it off. Well, I hide that part. Man. All those parts are needed to be human. All those parts just add up to a human being, not a perfect person. A human being. A human being. Oh, making space for those parts, giving them a voice, saying this out loud. Just feel all this stuff lifting off of me. Oh. Oh. Well, I will say, as of this point, there's several things that I do. And I cared at one point, and I enjoyed them. But I eventually just realized that no matter what I did, I'd never be great at it. So I just eventually kind of gave up. So, I juggle and I play hacky sack and I do. I'm a biker. There's all sorts of things I do, and I just can't do them very well. I have health issues, so I can't bike very well either. So I'm 39, and to this day, I've never done a cartwheel ever, and probably never will, and that's okay. So I've had to make peace with a lot of that. Yeah, but I didn't really dig into it like this, though. And certainly that childhood me, struggled with those high standards for a long time. That little kid me. This is teaching that little kid me to drop all the high standards. Unrealistic high standards. I'm going to learn to love myself even when I can't meet any of my standards. I am still worthy of love. I am still fully worthy of love. Oh. 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 Oh, man. Oh. Oh. My mind is thinking things like high standards. High standards is another word for self-abuse. And and people often go, well, but if I lower my standards, I won't be happy. Well, you might be. You might be. You might be happy. And if not, it's worth revisiting and debating, and seeing why you pick these standards and what standards really work for you. And it's not about high or low standards, it's about what standards work for you. And we can even make an argument, maybe it's better not to have any standards. Because, I mean, you're walking into a situation, standards are just, your idea of what you think things should be. But embracing things as they are, I mean, that's great. It's just what happens. I would also just say it may be a lot more freeing to just embrace things as they are. And then, you can keep that in mind, your standards. But if embracing things as they are really came first, you wouldn't lead with your standards. You'd lead with no standards. And that's my thought. That's my thoughts on this. What would it feel like to let all the standards go? Oh, everything you've been holding on to. All the standards pressure you held against yourself. Have compassion for yourself, for all the standards you put on you. Oh. Oh, oh God. Oh, okay. 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 Well, it's 5:06. I think I'm gonna call it. Gonna call it for this week. That was incredible. That was incredible. Just talking it out and being able to connect it to all those exercises that I have in that workbook really allowed me to flesh out some stuff. Really allowed me to process through some stuff. Oh, oh, decompress. Okay, so if you're watching this video, please come to class. You know, I can offer you the same thing. Space for your feelings. Oh, man. Oh, okay. So do take care of yourself after you watch this. Oh, next week, we will have one more talk time before we start the beginner series. So if you're interested, please come. Ooh, and just much gratitude to you watching this. Much gratitude to the world. Much gratitude to life. Much gratitude to my stuffed animal. Much gratitude to the scammer. Much gratitude to bankruptcy. Much gratitude to the hard things of life. I am definitely going to spend some time tomorrow rewatching this video. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to do something nice for myself for opening up to these feelings. I might really need to eat some real good beans. I need some beans. Beans are really wholesome. I need some beans. I need some beans. If not beans, I think I need to go to Popeyes and get me some fried chicken as well. But I can get red beans and rice as a side item. How about that? Maybe some Popeyes might be what I need today. Tomorrow I got a difficult day tomorrow. So yeah. So on that note, everyone wish me well if you're watching this. Wish me well. I hope everything goes well tomorrow. I'm not even sure what well exactly means, aside from the bankruptcy goes through. So I don't know. But whatever it does mean, wish me well. And just know that whatever does happen, I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work. And I'm here to do the work with all of you. Okay? So if you're interested, please come to class. Otherwise, good luck with your thoughts and feelings. Feelings are not easy. Good luck with your thoughts and feelings. Have a nice week. Have a nice weekend. And I will, God willing, see you all next week. Bye, everybody.